Hey, welcome to episode 63 of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about what you all should do with your extra income. If you guys have more income than you need because you paid off all your bills, you have some income left over, you have some money left over. In the last episode, we talked about what you should do if you don't have enough money for your bills. But in this episode, we're going to talk about what you guys should do if you do have enough money left over. So if you guys do have enough money left over, don't think that money is for splurging, especially if you all have debt. So I do suggest that you guys do a few things if you guys have money left over, and this is what I suggest. So if you guys have any extra money left over, think about putting that extra income into paying down your debt. If you guys have money sitting on your credit cards, if you look and see how much money they're charging you for interest on those credit cards, it'll make you sick. So I do suggest that you all pay down those credit cards. Now, if you have 0% APR on your credit cards, maybe it's not so much of a rush to pay it off, but make sure that you do put some money to the side or start paying it off, especially if your 0% APR is going to be over in less than 3 months, because I don't want, for like some of my credit cards have $4,500 of 0% APR. I'm not going to wait until 2 months before to think about paying some on those cards. I need to start paying those off a little earlier than that. So those right there, you want to start putting your money towards paying those off. And then other credit cards, so you probably got a $4,000 limit, you got $2,000 just sitting on that card, and you think, oh, it's fine, I'll just let it sit there, and you think you got extra income. They're charging you a lot of money in interest on that credit card. So I do suggest you go ahead and pay that down, especially if they charge you a lot of money. Like if it's not 0% APR, you really need to start paying that down. And you can save so much money this way, and you might not feel it now, but in the future, if you really calculated how much you're saving by paying it down right away, you're going to see that you're saving a lot of money. And then again, we already talked about paying down your debt, but also think about some of those, maybe you have some collections you want to settle. Think about selling and negotiating some of those debts. So definitely call those companies to try to see if you can sell them, especially if they're within your statute of limitations. That's the time that they have to actually sue you. I believe we talked about that in one of the earlier episodes. They have a certain amount of years to actually sue you. So if they're within the statute of limitations, maybe you want to think about actually settling some of those debts out, and that can help you. And then too, if you don't understand it or don't know what to do with your extra money, get assistance to try to figure out how you can come up with a plan to pay off these debts. Now, I know personally, I was doing the debt snowball, but I was really actually doing the avalanche. I don't like the amount of interest that I'm paying on my car. Like, it really makes me sick, you all. I'm not gonna lie about it. So that was one of the debts I decided that I want to tackle first. I don't have, other than student loans and things like that, I don't have any other debts that have like a high interest rate. I don't hold a balance on my credit cards. I'm over that stage. I'm not holding balances ever again. I'm not going to pay that extra interest. But I decided to tackle my car first. And any extra money that you get, put towards that first debt that you want to do. And also you can, if you decide you want to do an actual method like the debt snowball or the avalanche, then all you have to do is list your debts from least to greatest, which one has the smallest balance to the one that has the most. And it don't matter what it is. Maybe your student loans are going to be trickled within other debts. You know, you're going to list them all individually, and then you just start with the first one, pay that off. Once you're done paying that off, you put all the money on that one. Then you take whatever you was paying minimum towards that, and you'll put that plus any additional money towards the next one. And you'll keep doing that same thing. Don't think, oh, I have extra money because this one debt is paid off. No, that's not extra money. If you are already paying, $50 for this first debt, then that $50 is going to go towards those new debts now. So that's a method that you can do. But I like the avalanche. I don't want to pay interest. I think that I can be obsessive about certain things. So I can be obsessed with paying off a car, especially like I told you guys, I was able to pay off my car in less than 2 years, my first vehicle. So I'm so happy about that. So definitely think about paying off your debt, come up with a system, look it up, research it. Maybe we'll talk about some in the upcoming episodes, but definitely pay off your debts. Now, if you have a lot of income to you all, if you guys, don't necessarily have a lot of debt, or it's not a rush for you to pay off certain debts. Some people like, well, I'm going to get my student loans forgiven in 2 years or 3 years because they're probably doing the teacher, maybe they're a teacher, or maybe it's some other reason why they're going to get it forgiven. Then maybe you want to think about investing that extra money that can really help you out a lot, especially when it comes down to taxes. You may want to think about investment to your IRA, because you guys can invest up to $6,000 per year in your IRA. So maybe you want to think about that, but definitely do something positive and not just think, oh, I get to go on another trip. Don't put it towards something, especially if you already invested, did all that, then you can think about a trip, but think about your future too. That's something really huge. So next we're going to talk about reducing your insurance payments. So if you guys have insurance payments, we're talking life insurance, health insurance, all that. We're going to talk about how you all can definitely reduce that in the next episode. I'll see you all there. Hey, welcome to episode 64 of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about reducing your expenses. So if you guys have a lot of expenses, which I know you probably do, we need to talk about reducing those expenses and what it could be and what it's not. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is reducing your expenses doesn't mean that you have to change your lifestyle. You really don't have to. You can just reduce it and not do unnecessary things. A lot of people do unnecessary things, and you can actually reduce your life. You can reduce some things and not necessarily change your lifestyle. So one thing I do too is I make sure that I put certain things on certain credit cards. I like to go out to eat too. So any extra money that I have in rewards, like say if I use certain rewards, I get 5% back here, 3% here, 2% here. All of that I get back. I can still go and get something to eat. I can still go out to eat, even though I'm trying not to spend any of my money. I'm trying to pay off my debt. Those rewards is whatever I want to do with it. Like to me, that's not income. So if I was to get $50 in rewards that month, that $50 is mine. I can do whatever I want to do with it. So I can still have my lifestyle of going out to eat and doing certain things. And sometimes I go out to eat anyway, it's going to be a tax write-off. So I make sure too that when I'm able to go out to eat with certain people, that's the tax write-off. So I can still have that same lifestyle. So think about that. Also, you have to understand that those small changes that you make may not be huge for you that day, that week, maybe not even that month. But if you look at it in a year span, a lifetime span, it's huge. No, I made the decision, like I told you all, I made the decision to cut all like my Netflix. I make sure that I'm going to rotate my streaming services. So right now I only have all I have is Disney Plus Hulu put together, but my American Express give me $10 per month, which that bill is only $11.30. So I only pay $1.30 for Disney Plus and Hulu because American Express is giving me $10 per month for that. And they're only going to give it to me for 6 months, but I have it set up in my phone that when it's over, you need to cancel it. I stopped my Netflix, so I don't have that. And then I have my Prime membership, so I make sure that I watch Prime Video. So I make sure I watch those different movies on there, and I love it. It's so much cheaper. I remember I had so many different things. What is that? Fubo or Fubo? I forgot what TV. I forgot what's the name of that. Maybe Babe had that for his football and stuff like that. But that, plus I had the Netflix, plus I had Disney and Hulu separate, plus I had Peacock, plus I had Showtime, plus I had this, plus I had so many different things you all before, and now I'm literally down to paying $1.30 a month, and I got Disney, I got Hulu, and I have Prime Video. So think about doing that. Just cut down those small things. Imagine how much money that is in a year. Maybe that's me saving, $400 in a year because I don't have all these different services. That's a lot of money if you think about it. Like that can be a hotel stay somewhere. Like it's a lot of money. That means you could travel. And then too, the thing about, it's a hotel stay, indulge in what makes you happy and cut the rest. So make sure you guys are cutting those things out that it's like, okay, I guess it's all right. Spend your money on what makes you happy. Okay. If you start doing that, then you're going to be well off, because I started doing that too. If it don't make me happy, then I don't need to do it. Yes, going out to eat sometimes make me happy, but I got chubby. I'm still chubby right now. But I still make sure that I cut those different things out, and now I can spend that extra money on if I want to do vacations, and you have the holidays coming up. So now it's not such a hard hit, because now I'm not spending unnecessary money on going out to eat. I can use that one what makes me happy, which is trips and vacationing. So in the next episode, we're going to actually talk about the insurance. I know I said we was going to talk about in the last episode, but we're going to talk about how you guys can cut down that insurance. So I'll see you guys in the next episode.